Hey, I'm Andy Aledort. In this edition of In Deep, I'd like to get into some slide guitar playing in open E. That's a very common tuning for slide. Duane Allman used it, Elmore James, lots of different people like that tuning. So let's get into it, and we're going to talk about the scale positions that you can use in different shapes for soloing. Here we go. All right, so the tuning, first of all, the sixth string and then the second and first string, they're all going to stay the same. So E is still E, B is still B, E is still E. But these three strings are going to move up as if you were playing a regular cowboy chord or first position E chord. So A goes up a whole step to B, D goes up a whole step to E, and G goes up a half step to G sharp. So from top to bottom, you've got E, B, E, G sharp, B, E. Strum across all the strings and you get an E major chord. So you could bar across any fret or use the slide and you'll get a major chord. And the name of the chord is going to be the notes on the sixth, fourth, and first string. So G would be at the third fret, A would be at the fifth, B at the seventh, D at the 10th. So if we use a slide, so that's one thing very useful about the open E tuning. Your major chords are just the same fret across all the strings. So now let's talk about soloing. One of the techniques you can use, which Johnny Winter showed me, is to just play the open string and the third and fifth fret on every string. Now that's not any particular scale, but if we leave the G string out, you get E minor pentatonic with some doubled notes. And the only doubled notes are the E notes. So that's very useful for soloing, especially if you add this note. So then you would have now there's another position we can use where we would play off the third fret and the open string. Through in the fifth fret there. So you can put the fifth fret in there too. So and then the other most common position is to go up to the 12th fret and move between the 12th and 10th fret on every string, but also use the 9th fret on the A string. And just as we had gone 3 frets higher to the 3rd fret, you can do that 12 frets above the 3rd fret would be the 15th fret. And you have notes you can use for soloing here too. If you keep going up, and that's the same as. So let's play a couple of solos, first focusing on the 12th position and then focusing on the lower position. I began the solo by hitting the top 3 strings, vibratoing and letting them ring while blocking the lower string. It's a very Elmore James thing to do. And then I try to use contrary motion moving alternately between sliding up and sliding down. Which gives a really nice contour to the lines. And I do try to mute as I move across from higher to lower or lower to higher strings. All right, now let's try a solo lower using open strings.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
All right, so I began, and then I played a cool Johnny Winter lick. Little tricky because you have to change strings so quickly. You could also go and do a quick pull-off. And then I played a typical Johnny Muddy Waters type. And then you can do a thing where you use the open high E against the E note on the B string. So I would play E there, and then the B. So I would encourage you to listen to Johnny Winter and Elmore James and Earl Hooker and Robert Nighthawk and these wonderful blues slide guitar players to get a handle on all of these types of licks.